Hello everyone and welcome to this week's short video tutorial. This will be another commentary of a match that was selected by the periodical Qiyi. It was one of the top 50 brevities, and this match was played in 1984. Red was Master Tong Benping from Jiangsu and black was Master Chen Xin-an from Yunnan province. The tournament was called the 避暑山庄杯, and the way that Red won this match was very exciting. So without further ado, let us begin the commentary. Now Red started with the central cannon, and Black chose to play c8 plus 7 to advance the right horse instead of the left horse. Now when usually this is done, it will signify that Black would choose to continue with the pale corner cannon for the sandwich horse defense. Another option would be to play the single horse defense, and of course Black could also decide to play h8 plus 7 for the screen horse defense. However, if you wanted to play the screen horse defense, as Red had developed his right flank, Black would be slower in developing his left flank, and this could create some problems in the opening phase. So Red will continue with h2 plus 3, and as can be seen, Black chose to go to develop his left chariot as a rank chariot at this point in time. Now this would mean that Black would want to choose to play the single horse defense. Red developed his right chariot as a foul chariot, and Black would immediately traverse his chariot across the palace to the red file. In the match, Red would choose to develop his left flank, so that the main idea was that Red wanted to occupy the major intersections or the important points on the board as fast as possible. Now there were two other variations that were discussed. One would be the riverbank cannon, and the other one would be p7 plus 1, whereby Red would take a slightly slower paced approach, but it would be more deliberate. Red would also be attacking with this variation. Now the variations that were given in the commentary in Qiyi was quite long, and I recommend the viewer to go to my website, to the relevant board, and to view the variations for yourself. Okay, after playing h8 plus 7, Black continued with h8 plus 9 for the single horse defense. Now, one of the major congenital weaknesses of Black's single horse defense would be that the central file would be rather weak and vulnerable to attack. And in this board, Master Tong Benping chose to push his pawn forward and was prepared to move his chariot to the riverbank and develop his left horse to attack. Now this was one of the possibilities that were available. Black solidified his central file. Red pushed his chariot to the riverbank, and he could also choose to trade chariots. And Black pushed his chariot across the river, preparing to play r4 equals to 3 to threaten the horse. Now, it would not be a good idea to push the horse or advance the horse to the riverbank at this point, or Black could have a skewer waiting. So, this was a cleverly prepared trap by Red. Now, he chose to retreat his horse. Now, the main idea behind this move was that Red was prepared to capture the central pawn, whereby it would be a discovered check, and the horse would be able to capture the black chariot. Now, usually when Black would advance the chariot in similar situations, more commonly seen play would be to traverse the cannon to the pale corner cannon formation and adopt the sandwich horse defense. So a short variation was given in the book. And as can be seen, it will be a nearly even situation for both colors. So in the actual match, Master Tong Benping decided to retreat his horse to the central position. And since Red was prepared to capture the central pawn and to capture the black chariot, Black countered in a very aggressive manner with a central cannon of its own. So there was no turning back. There was no turning back now. Now, most viewers might want to know what would happen if Black chose to play r4 equals to 3 instead. Now, if this were played, Red would immediately take the opportunity to push his cannon across the river to Black's pawn rank and be prepared to capture the central pawn by force. So now there will be two cannons attacking the central pawn, and there will be only one black horse to protect it. This is one commonly used tactic in the past. It will be like going to the fight where usually the side that has more people would win. Now with C8 equals to 5 for you might call it the deferred same direction cannons. Black showed that he was willing to put up a fight and not be pushed around so easily. And Master Tong Benping chose to push his cannon to the riverbank. Now Black continued with R1 plus 1 to develop his red chariot, since developing it as a foul chariot was not possible. However, postmortem analysis would show that this was not a good idea. The main reason would be that the central cannon, the presence of the central cannon would result in the black elephants being unable to be linked. So it was suggested that c5 plus 4 were played, since Red had a central horse already present. Now the variation given was something like this. And as can be seen, once the elephants are linked, Black's defensive formation would be very stable, and Red's attack would not be as smooth as possible. And one added advantage of playing e3 plus 5 in this situation would be to allow the black chariot to be developed as a kingside chariot with r1 equals to 4. So Black can be very satisfied with this position. So in the match, r1 plus 1 was played for the rank chariot. Now this was the beginning of the fall of Black. And this was a continuation of the trap that was prepared by Red. By sacrificing the pawn, the cannon would now have the option of playing c8 equals to 3 to attempt a smothered cannon checkmate. Now, this was also a stroke of genius that completely took Black unawares, and the flaw or the weakness that Black had when he cannot link the elephants, it can now be appreciated, because in a single horse defense, one of the horses would be on the edge file and would usually be protected by the elephant. So this was one very nice trap that was prepared by Red to attack. This would also be an example of using the clearance tactic. So whereby the pawn is sacrificed to clear the way for the cannon to move here. In the match, Black chose to play r4 equals to 3. Now, it would not be a good idea to capture the pawn, no matter how enticing it would be, because Red would continue with this move, and Black would be forced to defend with c5 equals to 3, c5 equals to 7. So even after trading material, the red chariot will now be able to be developed, and because Black had developed his right chariot as a rank chariot, Black's right flank would now be very vulnerable to attacks by the foul chariot. If the chariot was developed as a file chariot, black could still attempt to form a blockade or attack in a similar manner. So in the match, r4 equals to 3 was played, and red continued to attack as planned, forcing black to defend with g5 equals to 7. So by this time, I ran this position in my computer. By this time, red had already amassed a significant advantage of about 550 points, or 530 to 550 points. So red continued to develop his left chariot, and black tried to salvage things by pushing the pawn forward. However, post-mortem analysis and analysis by the computer would suggest that black could have played c7 plus 3 and things would have been much better. Red would still have the advantage, but it would take red much more effort to convert the advantage into a win. And after p7 plus 1 was played, red immediately played c3 equals to 7. Now the red cannon was like an unrestrained beast, delivering one discovered attack after another. Now this move would place black in a dilemma, because before we continue, the reader might wonder what would happen if p3 plus 1 were played, as black would attempt to sacrifice material to try to gain some leverage. So if p3 plus 1 was played, red will immediately capture the black cannon. If the black cannon cannot capture the red chariot, or it will be the immediate checkmate. Of course, black would try to protect in this manner, and after trading chariots, red will gain material. So there will be now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces versus red's 3 pieces, and the advantage that red would have, or the material advantage that red would enjoy now, would be simply too big for black to handle. So this variation was not given in the periodical, and I added it just for explanation's purpose. So after p7 plus 1 was played, red would continue with c3 equals to 7. Now c3 equals to 7 was a very nice move. Again, red would pile up pressure on this file. Again, the black pawn cannot capture the red pawn. Now what would happen if red really decided to capture the black pawn? The black chariot would be lost, because there were now only 4 places on this rank for the black chariot to move. Now both the edge pawn and the central pawn were protected by the horse, so that would not be viable. And this file was already controlled by the red chariot, so it would seem that the only safe file would be to play r3 equals to 4. However, if this were played, it would be an immediate check. No matter what black moves, the chariot would be lost, and as can be seen, red would gain even more material and was prepared to capture the black cannon, and the material advantage that red would have at this point in time was simply too much for black to handle. So that is why p3 plus 1 cannot be played. In the match, Master Chen Xin-an played r1 equals to 4. Now this was also a mistake in itself, and computer analysis suggested p7 plus 1. This variation was not found in the periodical Qiyi also. Now if p7 plus 1 was played, red would counter in this manner. Again, this would be an attempt at a exchange of material. The black calls for the red cannon, which red would usually not want to happen. And although red would have the material advantage, at least black would have formed a blockade and was still attacking at this point in time. The black chariot would not be lost. So capturing, and it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of red's major pieces versus 3 of black's major pieces. Red would still have a advantage, but black could still have his chances for forcing a draw. So that was why the computer suggested p7 plus 1 as a viable alternative in this situation. So unfortunately, Master Chen Xin-an played r1 equals to 4. And this was when red continued his attack. This would be a discovered attack, whereby moving away the pawn will allow the red chariot to capture the black horse. The elephant cannot be moved, or the red chariot will capture the black cannon. So black was forced to protect his horse in this awkward manner. And red immediately, because this was in fact a skewer, red would attack the central file. If the horse captured the red cannon, the chariot would be lost, and this chariot would also be attacked. So black was forced to move k5 equals to 4. If the elephant were moved, the cannon would be lost. And red would take the advantage, to take the opportunity to increase his advantage by advancing the pawn. And in this synchronized attack, this will be a cannon fork, whereby this cannon will be now attacking both the black chariots. And even if material would be lost, and if black did not play correctly, both the chariots would be lost. So that was why black decided that he had enough and resigned. So the tactical combination shown towards the end of this brevity was very, very interesting. And for players with a background in international chess, the use of the cannon can perhaps be best exemplified with this short brevity. So a short recap of the most exciting part. Let me see. Okay, after pushing p7 plus 1, clearing the way for e8 equals to 3, red would start his final onslaught. And this was only, mind you, this was only the 10th ply. Black cannon was forced to defend. Red was prepared to capture the black cannon. Black tried to salvage things with p7 plus 1. Unfortunately, there was his cannon rank was overloaded, and c7 plus 3 might have been better from the looks of things. So see, red continued with another discovered attack, and this was perhaps the final straw in black's demise. So p7 plus 6 was played to force to gain material, and the black chariot was forced back, and all hell broke through for the cannon fork. Sorry. I was quite surprised at the way red managed to maneuver his pieces in such a artistic manner, and I hope you've enjoyed this short video tutorial. If you like the work that I've done, please support my channel and by giving me a like. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.